What's going on, guys? This is my second attempt at recording this video, but we're back. If you've noticed on the channel, I've deleted all the old videos minus the funny rant ones, but everything that was pickup related is completely removed from the channel because we're starting fresh, man. Mid-year 2020, hoping to bring some better content to the channel and be a little bit more of myself opposed to feeling so robotic. So, what better way to start out with some music pickups? Hope you're all being safe in quarantine. I've been picking up a ridiculous amount of stuff. I have a shit ton of records behind me, and we got some tape, CDs, and all that good stuff. So today I've just picked a small stack of stuff that I've been listening to recently and wanted to show it off. So first, let's talk about this. This is The Burning Wind with an inheritance in a hashtag. Bands, please make better album titles. But this is some killer music, man. So this was put out through Bitter Melody Records. Grant over there, super cool dude, actually sent this to me for free. I had picked up some stuff for the distro, and he threw in a couple tapes, and this was one of them. And it's really good stuff. Released in 2019. It's an EP that is pretty much along the lines of, if you took Tyler from Year of the Knife, and you took his vocals and vocal kind of cadence, and you put it on top of the way Vane sounds, that's pretty much what you would get with The Burning Wind. It's awesome stuff. I really want to listen to more of this band and see what else they do. I'm not sure if this is the only release they have. I haven't done that research yet, but cool stuff. They're out of North Carolina, so if you're interested or that sounds like anything you may like with Vane, Year of the Knife, kind of this more modern style of hardcore, but you get some of like how Vane does a lot of those weird wanky guitars and kind of shifts very quickly from just a fast blasting straight into a breakdown or a mosh part, then you'll like this if that kind of sounds like it's up your alley. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and jump into a band that I want you all to know, so I'm doing it towards the beginning of this video in case you don't make it to the end, and that is, if I can get this out of the sleeve, it's Conjura. So what is Conjura? They are a black metal band out of Belarus, and their music is put out through Redefining Darkness Records. Now, my experience with them comes specifically from this first album. This is All Is of No Avail, and I found out about them because Redefining Darkness was doing a $1 per album digital sale a few years back. This came out in 2017. And I was like, of course I'm gonna pay $1 for a digital album, you know, I wanna check it out, see what I like. Some stuff was pretty basic, but this immediately caught my eye. And it's only a 2-song EP, and I'd had it digital for many years, just never bought a copy of it. And Conjura ended up posting on their Bandcamp, hey, we're trying to clear out all of our inventory because we're gonna be recording new material. So we are doing $5 on the first EP, and then $6 on the second EP. And because they were discounted and shipping from Belarus was $10, I picked up basically both of these albums for $21 shipped. Of course I'm gonna do that. So to kind of explain what Conjura sounds like, they, I would say, are your more accessible black metal. If you're someone that doesn't listen to a lot of black metal, or you like the more well-produced side of black metal, the more catchy riffs that stand out, a little bit more melodicism with it, then Conjura's right up your alley. For someone that maybe is into like a progressive death metal kind of sound, like maybe someone that's into a Gojira actually, I would show them Conjura. I think that it's a nice little shift over, and they can latch onto some riffs like they could with a Gojira. Obviously they're not progressive, but they have super catchy riffs. And this is great stuff. It's in one of these kind of, I guess, slimline little digipacks. You got lyrics to the songs there. Great stuff. Again, this was $5, put out in 2017. And then we come into their 2018 release, which this one is called There Is No Division Outside Existence. And with this here was one that I was not familiar with. So when I bought it, it was brand new to me. I owned it digitally, and I refused to listen to it because I wanted to wait till this came in the mail. After about a month, I want to say, it came in. And holy shit, guys. So the first track's instrumental. Second track, which is called Decaying Into the Ascended. Man, these words, big words over here. That track is awesome. It has this riff, and I can't really describe it, but when you hear it, you'll know what riff I'm talking about. And it's just super catchy. For days on end, I had that riff just stuck in my head, that single part just playing over and over and over. It's awesome stuff. All the rest of the tracks are great as well. It's 4 songs, and this is one of those, like, you can kind of hear it. It's a real, like, well done digipack, and it's like a 4-panel, I believe, digipack, or they call these 5 panels. It opens up. You got the disc. You got lyrics to the 3 songs, and then, of course, the instrumental on this side, excuse me. But it's awesome, man. Please check out Conjura. They're a fantastic, fantastic band. I really want these guys to get bigger because I don't want them to stop making music. So if you're into some more accessible, well done, catchy black metal, check out Conjura. And I don't mean accessible in the likes of, like, it doesn't sound like Behemoth, but you know how people that really don't listen to a lot of black metal, they like Behemoth or they like Belphegor and bands like that, which I love those bands too. But this is just different. It's more melodic. Next up, let's talk about some more black metal. This is, and I'm going to butcher this name here, so I wrote it down so I would try and not butcher it as bad. This is Mortis Callum with Macto Intiritum Mundi. Yeah. What this is a few years back, I was trying to just gobble up as much black metal as I could. I wanted to figure out and I wanted to learn about as much because I was really getting into the genre after a few years of just listening to a lot of those more entry bands. And Hell's Headbangers ended up having a $1 sale on just artwork and disc for like 30 albums. So I bought all like 30 of them. And so over time I listened to them. Some of them are honestly garbage. Some of them are pretty good. And stuff like this really caught my eye. I have replacement cases, so I made my own CD out of it. But this is really good stuff. The band is out of Athens, Greece. And they pretty much play the style of your, early black metal where it's maybe not the best produced. Things can sometimes kind of muddy together. However, the band does at least a good enough job where you can make out some of those riffs on top of kind of that shitty production, if you will. But it's really good stuff. There's some kind of interludes or instrumentals on the album. Vocals are your typical, shrieky black metal vocals. But overall, it does a pretty good job. Is it anything that's going to blow you away? No. I mean, in all honesty, a lot of these blackmetal.com releases, they don't really do that. But I feel like this is worth your time. It's one of those albums that you can just throw into your listening and really enjoy. So yeah, Mortis Callum. This is streaming on YouTube. I will have links. That's one of the things about this redux of the channel. I will have links to everything in the description, so check this out. If I'm not super lazy, I might actually try and play a little bit of the music. Let's show this off next. We got Anthrax, man. This is Anthrax Icon. Most of you are probably familiar with these Icon sets because they are essentially a greatest hits set of a band, and you usually see these in Walmarts and Best Buys and Targets. However, this is one I'd never seen. I was doing some online shopping, finding some stuff for the distro and some stuff that maybe I wanted for my collection. And being that I am a pretty big Anthrax fan of Belladonna Years Only, sorry John Bush, but I do like you in Armored Saint, I had to have this because it wasn't never released on vinyl, obviously, and it was only $3.75, maybe even $2.75. It was super cheap. But I wondered how come I never saw this, because most of these Icon sets I've seen at your Targets and Walmarts all the time. This was actually never released in the United States. There is a Japanese press, I believe an Indonesian press, and then this one in particular is a Canadian press. So if you're looking for it, you're probably going to either find it in my distro, or you can grab it off of like Discogs and stuff like that. The case is unfortunately broken because I dropped it, but I have replacement cases. The disc is actually in my player because I was jamming it the other day. And and I have a little pamphlet from the website I got it from. But it's great stuff. It's obviously your greatest hits, nothing special. The only interesting thing is it doesn't have Caught in a Mosh, which I find really, really funny because, I mean, it's one of their biggest songs. I mean, like, if you see Anthrax live, it's like you're guaranteed to see Caught in a Mosh, Indians, you know, Madhouse. What else are you? Probably AIR, you know, this is the jams, but this is good stuff. Really, really good. It also has like Belly of the Beast, Bring the Noise, I'm the Man, I Am the Law. It's another one that you'll hear live all the time. So yeah, Anthrax, you can't go wrong with it. Belladonna years, baby. We'll jump into this. This is pretty funny. So what do we have here? This is Dead Bodies Everywhere, and this is a slam and brutal death metal tribute to nu metal. And no, I did not braid my hair like this purposely for this video. It's really hot, and I haven't had my hair braided in like a year, so decided to do it, man. But the thing with this compilation, this is limited to 100 copies. For those who don't know, I cut my teeth on nu metal when I was younger and I was getting into rock and heavy metal music. Nu metal played a very big staple in that. And so I'm not someone that looks back on music badly. To me, pretty much all music holds up. So all those bands that I listened to when I was 11, 12, and 13, at pretty much almost age 24 now, I still like all that same stuff. Cold Chamber, Nothing Face, Korn, Slipknot, American Head Charge. Even though Aaron Lewis is a dick, I like Stain. System of a Down, even though the drummer's a dick too. I mean, I like all that stuff. Kitty, it's all wonderful to me. So, Mudvayne, Reunion. But, so when I saw this, I love brutal death metal and slam now, so I figured this has to be great. And you can still see it's still sealed. I have not opened this yet, because this is garbage. Oh man, it's really, really bad. So, I love covers. I'm going to talk about a cover next. But I like covers that keep the exact same style as the original. I want a band to basically take what the first band did and replicate it and just throw in their little hints of their own kind of style in it. I don't like when bands pretty much change the song. And that's what a lot of this is. A lot of these bands on here kind of make the song their own and they make it solely a brutal death metal song. And a lot of times it doesn't fit. There's a couple of jams on here that sound pretty darn good. But overall, it's just not great, man. It's not good. So, yeah, I can't vouch for this. There's 28 tracks and they couldn't fit them all on one disc. So they also came with a little CD cardboard here that has everything. So you get 28 songs with this. I listened to it digitally. So when this came in the mail, I was like, ah, man. But I'm such a nu metal fan, and it's named after a Korn song, and Korn is my all-time favorite band, that I for now I have to keep it. At some point, there's a possibility I could get rid of that, because I was very disappointed. We're going to end up this video with some 7 inches. I mentioned that we were going to talk about a cover, and I'm going to go ahead and show that cover. So this is Take Your Shot, Fun Boy from Wrist Meets Razor. For those who don't know, Wrist Meets Razor, hardcore band, signed to Prosthetic Records. This was put out through Bitter Melody Records, however. And this is a band that over the past few years has really been kind of coming into their own and blowing up a little bit. This was limited to 150 copies. This is something that I did get to stock in my distro. I have the orange version of it. I have black in the distro. And what's surprising about this is I played this. I popped it on the turntable, played it. First track was great. Traditional Wrist Meets Razor, what you'd expect. Hardcore band. A little weird. The second track is Black Planet. Most of you watching this video are going to be like, Sisters of Mercy. Well, from someone that doesn't know anything about that style of music, this really took me back. I listened to it and I was like, that's the best song off the 7-inch. That's amazing. But I knew right away it had to be a cover because that sounds nothing like what a regular Wrist Meets Razor song is. And they did this cover great. They kept the original style into it and threw in their own flair, just like I like. So I went on Discogs, found out it was a Sisters of Mercy cover. So I immediately went over and listened to the Sisters of Mercy album that Black Planet's on, when I was rocking A Hard Place and all that stuff. And I fell in love. So I pretty much, since I've gotten this in, been on a huge, like, dark wave, synth pop kind of kick as well. And been listening to a lot of that stuff. And I'm really enjoying it. It's so damn good. So yeah, this is a must-own 7-inch, just for that cover alone. Highly, highly recommend it. Shout out to Grant, Bitter Melody. This is one of this. It doesn't come in a jacket. It comes in one of these foldovers, like a lot of hardcore 7-inches do. So yeah, awesome stuff, man. Wrist Meets Razor is great. Center labels, good stuff. Promise not to re-sleeve on these videos. I don't want to make someone mad. Next up, we'll get some Slayer, baby. When the Stillness Comes. I'm 5 years late on this. Not that I didn't know the song. I'm 5 years late of picking this up. I love Slayer. They're one of my all-time favorite bands. I got to see them 3 times on the farewell tour. I teared up all 3 times. And I caught a Gary Holt pick, and I really wanted to cry, because Gary Holt is one of my all-time favorite guitarists. Now, I love every era of Slayer. A lot of people dislike modern Slayer. Some people dislike Undisputed Attitude and Diabolus and all that stuff. I dig all of it, man. I like it all. I mean, obviously the early stuff is just like masterpiece, but Repentless was hard. Like, Repentless isn't even a word. If you create your own word, you're immediately hard. Who else did it? Max Cavalera with Downstroy. It's hard. I love it, man. But this also comes with a Vakken 2014 live performance of Black Magic. It's just on black vinyl. From my understanding, this was exclusive to Nuclear Blast and limited to 250 copies. There's about 12 to 13 different pressings of this, so you can find this very, very cheap. I want to hear Siri in there talking, or Alexa, but it's great stuff. If you want this, you can grab it for probably about $10 shipped, or you can, I promise not to re-sleeve. I was about to re-sleeve. I had an eBay coupon, so I grabbed it for about $6. The last thing I'm going to show is a split 7-inch between Creator and Lamb of God. So, Creator, Pleasure to Kill, one of my all-time favorite thrash records. Nowadays, Creator, not so thrashy, death thrash, black thrash like they were, but more so just great metal. Their songs are very, very catchy now. I mean, when you think of Gods of Violence or Phantom Antichrist, some of those later Creator albums that have come out recently, super catchy. A little bit of like melodicism with it, and it's just great stuff. I mean, anyone can kind of jump into it. And this 666 World Divided, great song. Lamb of God, I'm a huge Lamb of God fan. I know a lot of people don't like Lamb of God that are in the kind of metal, YouTube metal community, but I grew up with them. I love them. As the Palace Has Burned, not the remastered, the original, one of my favorite records of all time. Just so good. I love the production on it. People hate it. Even Randy hates it, but it's so good. But later era Lamb of God, it's good. It's great. They're a fantastic band live, but those earlier albums are just so much more raw. Chris Adler's drumming's fantastic. Chris Adler's no longer in the band. The new guy is just not cutting it for me, but Checkmate's a pretty good song. This had 2 different versions. You had transparent green and then a orange. Both limited to 1,000. I got green. And yeah, check it out. The Creator artwork is sick. Just look at that. That's it. This is going on 20 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I want to thank everyone. I just re-sleeved, by the way. Eat it. I want to thank everyone for watching, and please subscribe. Come with me on this collection journey of music and Blu-rays and video games and all that fun stuff. And I hope to talk to you soon. Peace out.